Okay, the live stream has been started on YouTube and the Zoom recording has been started. So we are ready to start. Michelle, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
I will just be off camera listening. So if you need me for anything, just say my name. And after you adjourn the meeting, I'll come back and finish everything up.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We have to do all the legal stuff. This open meeting of the Board of Library Trustees is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the town of Northborough has been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. All members of the Board of Library Trustees are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Board of Library Trustees to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. The chair confirms that the board members, when I call your name, I do it every time. I'm going to cross that out. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. State your name and say that you are present. So, Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, I am present.
Jim Hogan.
I'm here.
Hamilton Soriano.
Hamilton Soriano, I'm here.
Nita Karanchkar.
Hi, Nita Karanchkar, I'm here.
And Jocelyn, I still always say it wrong.
Jocelyn McKelney, present.
Thank you. Charles Recchia is not. Joan Scott.
Joan Scott, present.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker, present.
Michelle Rehill is present. We also have with us Bernie Lynch.
Bernie Lynch here.
Thank you. All right. Having done the roll call, I will now officially call the meeting to order. It's 8:03 p.m. And my opening remarks, I had everything nicely organized. Here we go. First, thank you all for being here at this hour on a Thursday night. I appreciate it, including John, who's behind the scenes. I just want to say that this is not a regular trustees meeting, so we'll not be doing any reviewing and approving of minutes, nor will we be doing so next week on October 13th. We will forego the regular trustee meeting on October 13th so that we can interview the candidates, but we will get all the minutes at our regular trustees meeting on November 10th. So for the three, there will be the minutes from 3 meetings will be at the November 10th meeting. Opening remarks done. So I will turn the meeting over to Bernie Lynch. Bernie, you haven't met the full board, have you? I keep forgetting.
This is
Okay.
my first opportunity.
Okay, great, thank you. So the town has hired Bernie to help fill some of the town's really outstanding big positions. And he is helping us find the new library director. So Bernie is going to walk us through the process of what we're going to be doing next Tuesday.
Sure. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's great meeting you all virtually here. As Michelle indicated, I've been working with the town over the last several months and filling a number of the positions. As you know, the town has been without an assistant town administrator for a while now, and the task of sort of processing these hirings was somewhat of a challenge, and so I was asked to come in and help out with that. The firm that I formed some years ago does a number of recruitments. In fact, we're probably the most active municipal recruiting firm in the country, in the state, not yet the country. We're working on that, but in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. My background, just to give you a little bit of information about me, my background is in municipal government, about 40 years. I served most recently as the city manager for the city of Lowell, where I in fact was I appointed the Board of Library Trustees, and I served as the ex officio chair of the Board of Library Trustees for the city. And prior to that, time in Lowell, I was the town manager for the town of Chelmsford, whereas I'm sure Michelle and Mitch have heard me say before, one of my proudest things was, my proudest accomplishments was building a library that was some 40 years overdue. So I have a great fondness for libraries, have been involved in the hiring of library directors in the past. So I particularly enjoyed the opportunity to work with the town of Northborough on this process that will probably and hopefully reach a successful conclusion next Tuesday evening. To give you a little bit of background around the process that we used when we came into the town, we did help. I said we've been helping fill a number of positions. We helped fill the Council on Aging Director position, the new Assistant Town Administrator position, the Health Agent position, the Principal Assessor, and of course the Library Director position. When we come in, we spend some time learning about the town and its needs. In particular, we worked with various people to try to get an understanding of the specific needs of the town with regards to the library director, and we created a position profile that we utilize as a recruiting tool to go out and help us find candidates. I think we did quite well. We ended up with 29 applicants for the position, which was a good number. We recently did a search for the town of Mattapoisett for a library director. I think they came in a little bit below that, as I recall. But I think we, not only in terms of numbers, but in terms of quality, I think we had some very strong candidates for the town of Northborough. Working with a screening committee that included Michelle and Mitch, as well as two staff members, Katrina Ireland, Donna Caffell, Mary Crowley from the Friends, Mary Crowley. I believe she's a former trustee.
Former trustee, and she was on the interview committee just as a representative of the community.
Right. She was our community representative. We had Mary Ellen Joyce as the Friends president, and John Kuder as the, as we all know, as the town administrator, serving on that committee as well. The committee took the 29 applicants, narrowed them down to 6 that they were interested in interviewing. We brought those 6 in for interviews virtually over the course of a couple of days. We focused on a number of different areas of questions. Obviously, we sought to learn about their careers and their interest in the position, their interest specifically in Northborough. We spent time trying to understand their management style and how they would work with the staff. Obviously, the staff had some great feedback for us in that area. We looked at their vision of a 21st century library and the type of programming that takes place in a successful library at this point in time, and their philosophy in terms of how the library's collection would be managed, as well as the programming administered. We asked them about their background with regards to outreach to the community, with regional efforts, as well as staying in town, intergovernmental cooperation and programming that could be shared across departments, and looked at how they would go about making the library increasingly relevant and more relevant, each and every day, as the library is an important part of any community. We discussed their financial management experience, putting together budgets, managing budgets, innovative ideas for revenues to assist the library in completing its missions. Along those lines, what entrepreneurial efforts they may have had in their prior positions, as well as their background in the use of technology. We discussed their background with facility management, and we gave them a chance to ask questions of the committee with regards to the town, the library, and this position. So based upon all of that feedback and discussions by the committee, we narrowed the field down to, or the committee narrowed the field down to the 3 finalists that you have being presented to you tonight. We then took those names and we reached out. We reached out to their references and we reached out to people that we knew that knew them. Because again, having a background in municipal government, each and every one of these communities where they work or have worked, we're familiar with people that work in those communities or have been involved in those communities, and we got feedback from all of these people as to their the quality of their work, the quality of their commitment to the position, and all of them cleared that process. We assembled the reference feedback that we received, and that's included in the report that you have before you. And so, I'm not going to go through and read everything that's stated about each one of them, as well as their background, entire backgrounds. But the 3 finalists that the committee is presenting to you are Jennifer Bruneau, the current library director of the Boylston Public Library. She's also involved with the New England Library Association, so she's quite active in the profession. Jennifer Inglis, who's currently the library director at the Linfield Public Library, and had served previous to that in the Boston Public Library, as well as in the towns of Nahant and Whitman, and Sandra Murphy. She's recently the library director in the city of Leominster. Prior to that, she worked in the Worcester Public Library and Youth Services. And prior to that, she served as the library director at Oak Bluffs. So we compiled all this information on each and every one of the candidates that you have before you, and we verified much of this information with the individuals in those communities that we, as I say, we know. So the process that we move from here, and this is all being governed. I know there's often questions about how or why it's done this way. This is all being done in accordance with the directives of the Attorney General and the Massachusetts Open Meeting Law. The process of screening candidates can be done retaining the confidentiality of all candidates but the finalists by a screening committee in executive session. So that's the purpose for the screening committee and the process that we used along those lines. That guarantees that the town would have the most robust pool if you can guarantee confidentiality until the point of becoming a finalist. At this point, these interviews and your selection in accordance with the open meeting law has to be done publicly. And so we've presented those names publicly. Each one of the candidates is aware of that. And each one is comfortable with that. The process we're using is they will be visiting the library tomorrow to have an opportunity to meet with the staff that is present and importantly, see the facility itself. One of the drawbacks, of course, to the pandemic is that the library has been closed, so they have not been able to get in there just sort of to wander about. They can see it from the outside, but not the inside. So tomorrow they'll go and visit the library and see it. And then on Tuesday, beginning at 5:45, I believe 5:30 is when the committee, but when the board will meet. But at 5:45, the candidates will start coming in to meet with the board in reverse alphabetical order. So you'd have Sandra Murphy, then Jennifer Inglis, than Jennifer Bruneau. We did visits alphabetically and interviews reverse alphabetically. And that's the process. And then at that point, the board has the opportunity to discuss the candidates and make a selection on who they feel is the right candidate. So I'm happy to take any questions or answer any questions. Any ideas that people have that they want to talk about? I'm all yours.
Well, right off the top, are we going to do it similar to the way the screening committee did, where you, Bernie, will be sort of leading the trustees through some of the questions?
I'm happy to do it that way. That's we've found that that's been a successful way of having a dialogue with the candidates. It allows the board to really engage and listen to the answers and become part of the dialogue, as opposed to being responsible for one question that they have to focus on. And that becomes somewhat of a stilted interrogation type of approach, as opposed to more of a dialogue where there can be topics raised that I'd be happy to raise and then facilitate the discussion amongst the candidates and the members. We've been using that process now we've been doing these type of recruiting for the last 5+ years, and really for the last 2+ years. That's been the process that communities have been pleased to use and have found it to be the most useful. So I'm happy to do it that way and play that role.
Okay, that works for me. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Nita?
So the interview will be online, like how we are live now?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's right.
No, just a thing like whether it will be a conflict of interest. If I don't know how that will work since we are live on YouTube.
Yeah, these are some of the drawbacks of the open meeting law and hiring, but it is the law, and it's particularly the you have to have this has to be done in an open meeting, and I've asked all the candidates to I haven't it's good form, shall we say, for the candidates to not do that. They will not be able to enter the room, this Zoom room. They will be put in a waiting room until the actual interview. But we can't, unfortunately, we can't stop anyone from
That
doing
works.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same concern, and I guess in the back of my mind, I would rather have gone through more of the process and have the search committee come up with a candidate to send forward to the trustees. But that didn't feel right to me, to deny everyone the privilege of, sort of having more of an opportunity to make the choice, have a full board.
And if I may, again, the open meeting law is what we get hit with here. We have an issue with here is the open meeting law prohibits sending just one candidate on from a screening committee, because then in effect, the screening committee is making the selection behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would just be ratified by the committee, the board. It is a simpler process in many regards, a nicer process, but again, it's the Attorney General has ruled that violates the intent of the open meeting law.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes, Joe.
So will we know in advance what the questions are that you're going to be asking?
I would probably state that we would probably go along the same lines that I just described, but there's going to be a completely different group of people here to dig down and provide follow-up questions. I mean, these are pretty standard areas of inquiry. So to the question of people watching, they probably know these are the types of questions they're going to be asked. The issue will be more their responses and then how you as board members follow up and ask them questions. And no matter how much they watch, they're not going to know what their response is going to generate in terms of additional questions and discussion.
Mhm.
So I would be happy to forward this on, this list of topics on, and then you as members can contact me ahead of time, and I can take your comments and feed those in. And I can work, if you have a particular issue with regards to, let's say, financial management, you can ask me to drill down right now with that question. Not right now, but when you send it on,
Right.
when I ask that question, I can drill into something. So I can, so for lack of a better example, you may say, well, I'm interested in how they put together the budgets, but I'm also interested in what they do for grants. Well, I happen to have that there, but
Mhm.
you could say, can we ask about what grants they received? And we would then add that into the mix.
Okay.
Okay. And likewise, when I send this email out, Michelle, I don't know if I have all the trustees' emails, but I will send you the email and you can forward it on. It has my phone number. And other than Saturday and Sunday morning, where I have a tea time, you're welcome to call me. All right. So Saturday, so it's now, you can call me tomorrow. I'm teaching all day. So you kind of talk to me tomorrow, but you can call me tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday's a holiday. Feel free. And I should talk about the candidates. And so if you have a particular question here and say, how transferable is it that this person worked at this large library or this small library? And what were the circumstances? I looked at the resume, and what were the circumstances of why they did this? Call me and I will fill you in or dig down that information for you if I don't have it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here as a resource for you.
All right, Bernie, if you send me that list, I promise I will forward it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just forward it on because it will have my email and my phone number. So, and actually, that's probably the easiest thing. If you just email me, then I can get back to you with a time to talk.
Okay. Does anybody else have a question about the process? And I will go back and say, Bernie said that we have the first candidate coming in at 5:45. Our meeting will start at 5:30, so that as you know, so we can go through all of I have to read the script, I have to take attendance, call the meeting to order. And then, so just to make sure that we all get in, that we don't have any technical problems, that I get all of that stuff in before we bring the first candidate in for the interview. That's why we will start at 5:30, but the first candidate will be in at 5:45.
And I think at the end of it on Tuesday evening, I anticipate it will probably end around 8:30, 8:45. I'm not sure. You may have at that time the ability to say, this is simple. We want candidate A, B, or C. You may want at that time to say, let's take a couple days or a week and think about this. That could be a discussion that's held at that time. But if you want to do something, the only thing I guess I would say is if you want to do something later in the week, if you want to meet on Tuesday and then meet again on Thursday, and I don't know what your schedules are, if you are interested in doing something like this during the day or 5 o'clock at night or whatever, we could set something like that up now. I think the big challenge, Michelle, is we had even for this, doing an 8 o'clock meeting, is the town's Zoom account.
Right.
So, and I have a Zoom account, but I don't have the Zoom webinar, which I believe is what you're using.
Yes, and it has something to do with, like, I think the YouTube
Okay,
channel and how many consecutive ones they can have. And
okay,
we need to be all legal beagle on that one.
okay.
So yeah, it would be hard. We would have to put something in now if we wanted to schedule something. We'd have to put it in tomorrow to get it in really next week. I mean, 'cause
Right.
we'll be talking to them on Tuesday.
Yeah. So
Um,
you maybe want to look at the following week then, early on, to look at dates to do this.
All right. So,
All
all
right.
right. I'll check the town's calendar and see if the dates look really bad. And then,
Yeah, hopefully I will tell you that I'm not free on, not that you need me for this part of it, I guess, but obviously I'll be there if possible. The 21st, from 6 o'clock on, and the 22nd from 7 o'clock on, I'm not available, but the 19th to 20th and anything during the day, I'm free.
okay. All right. Any other questions by anyone? Do we all feel ready? Ready for next Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You have a tough decision ahead of you.
Yeah, they look like some really great candidates.
Agree.
Yes, and just for the record, I will be the one doing the tours of the library with the 3 candidates tomorrow morning. So, and really the purpose is, again, to let them get in there, see the library, see the building, and, meet some of the staff who are there. It's not meant to be an interview process for the staff, just that they will get to, come in. Because it would be very odd to me to offer a job to someone who's never even seen the building where they'll work. So, all right.
Okay.
No other questions, concerns?
Oh, just one other question. So how long is the interview for each person? Are we doing a set time or is it just as long as it takes?
It's roughly an hour. I mean, if it goes a little bit over, but if I'm thinking more likely it will be between 45 and 60 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or concerns? All righty. Then if there is nothing else, if there are, nobody else has any comments, questions, issues, Bernie, you have nothing else that you need to tell us at this time?
I can't think of anything at this time. Again, I will get this out within the next couple minutes, and then feel free to reach out by email or phone, and we'll go with Tuesday night.
Okay, sounds great.
Great.
In that case, the chairperson would entertain a motion from one of the trustees to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a
Anyone?
motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. And guess what? It has to be a roll call. I have to find this is my tracking sheet. All right. Motion to adjourn, Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Jim Hogan. Can you
Jim,
unmute,
you're muted.
please? Sorry. Oh. Once more. You double clicked. Can he just say yes? Is he allowed to nod?
Sure.
Hamilton Soriano,
Hamilton Soriano, aye.
Nita Karanjka.
Nita Karanjkarai.
All right, Jocelyn McHeleny. Did I get it?
Jocelyn McKelney, aye. You got it.
Thank you. Here, Joan Scott,
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker,
Richard Tucker, aye.
Remy Shari held the chair says aye. The motion carries unanimously in the affirmative. The meeting will be adjourned. Thank you, Bernie, so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
We will see you on Tuesday. And John, thank you so much for being our host for tonight. The board meeting,
No problem at all.
we are adjourned at 8:31.
Great.
Thank you, everyone.
Good to see
Thank
everybody.
you.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Aye. See you
Emails
Have a
on
great
its way.
weekend.
See you on Tuesday. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks all.
Thanks.
Hey, there we go.